The movie begins by showing the exoplanet called Somaris. Humans have explored and inhabited the planet, where a father is teaching his daughter how to make whistling sounds using her hand. The dad, Mills, is going for an exploration job in a nearby galaxy. In mid-travel, the ship's AI detects unexpected meteor activity. Suddenly, all alarms start blaring, and Mills wakes up from sleep. Multiple asteroids impact the ship and cause turbulence. Mills takes over control of the ship from the AI and tries to fly it manually. But soon he has to make an emergency landing on a nearby exoplanet. The ship falls through the atmosphere and starts to burn up. The structural integrity of the ship is failing, and it crash lands on the surface of the exoplanet. Mills wakes up hearing the computer AI voice, assessing the damage level. Mills patch up his injuries and suit up. None of the other astronauts survived the crash landing. He gears up and goes out of the spaceship. The planet is filled with a water-like fluid. We see a creature swimming right behind Mills. Mills goes inside the ship and sends an SOS message. Later, Mills finds out that 2 escape pods are missing from the spaceship. Suddenly, the computer picks up a signal from one escape pod near the crash landing zone. Mills goes to explore and finds recently hatched eggs of an unknown creature. He locates the escape pod and rescues the survivor. While going back, he sees a giant footprint in the ground. It turns out that he crash-landed on planet Earth 65 million years ago, when Earth was inhabited by giant creatures like dinosaurs. He tries to locate the other half of the ship, but its location is unknown. We now see scenes of a prehistoric, primitive Earth. He finds the skeletons of a small building-sized animal. There were also boiled water eruptions. Mills spots a blinking signal and locates the other half of the ship that separated during the landing. Suddenly, he is attacked by a small dinosaur. The survivor neither speaks nor understands English. Mills draws on the table to explain to her that they need to climb a mountain to locate the other half of the ship. They both start their journey through the dangerous lands. Meanwhile, Mills is bitten by a slimy insect. The girl sees a baby dinosaur stuck in mud. Mills prevents her, but she goes to help it. As soon as it gets out, it is attacked by other carnivores. Mid-journey, Mills loses the signal for the other ship. He climbs a tall tree to relocate it. He sees a scorpion on his hand, and loses balance and falls on the ground. Suddenly, a few dinosaurs get their smell and start approaching them. With the help of the girl, Mills fixes his broken arm and shoots at the reptiles. Heavy numbers of reptiles approach the area. Mills asks the girl to run and throws energy grenades on the ground. Meanwhile, Koa finds herself between flying reptiles. Also, the ground reptiles approach her, but Mills shoots them away. Mills sets up a campsite to stay for the night. Later, he wakes up hearing the alarm going off. We see an insect entering Koa's mouth, and she starts foaming. Mills terminates the insect. Suddenly, the alarm starts blaring rapidly. Lightning hits the sky, and we see a giant dinosaur right behind them. They escape through a hole in the cave. Mills uses energy grenades to create a pathway to escape the cave. Koa is able to get through, but suddenly the stones fall down, and they are separated. Koa signals Mills by making a whistling sound, and Mills tries to get out of the cave. Mills comes across another one of the reptiles, while looking for a way out. He uses high-frequency sound waves to weaken and defeat the reptile. Meanwhile, Koa crafts a spear and coats it using poisonous fruits to defend against the reptiles. While scanning, Mills discovers that a catastrophic asteroid is coming towards Earth. Reptiles locate and follow Koa. Mills runs towards the sound and accidentally falls into a sinkhole. Meanwhile, Koa defeats the reptile using energy grenades. She hears Mills calling. Mills is now almost submerged. Koa bends a tree branch and helps Mills get up from the sinkhole. Mills tells Koa about the incoming asteroid. Koa climbs first and throws the rope to Mills. They finally reach the other half of the spaceship. Mills gets a message that a rescue vessel is coming for them. Meanwhile, small asteroids start falling through the sky, followed by a number of larger asteroids. One of them hits their spacecraft. It falls into the crater, next to the mountain. Koa wakes up after the impact and initiates the launch sequence, but the ship fails to launch. Suddenly, a giant dinosaur comes there and starts tearing the spaceship. Mills goes out of the ship and picks up the energy blaster, but the gun fails to recharge. Meanwhile, another reptile comes there. Koa uses the scanner to project a hologram video of Mills' daughter. While the reptile attacks it, Mills is able to recharge the energy shells and gives a deadly blow to the reptile. But the other one starts running towards Koa and flips the spaceship. Mills hits it multiple times and is able to defeat the reptile. Meanwhile, the ship's AI tells them that the vessel is now in the right orientation and it starts to repair. Suddenly, a third dinosaur appears there. Mills runs through the forest and sees the boil water eruption spot. He leads the reptile towards the boiling water eruption, but it doesn't do much damage. It's about to attack Mills. Suddenly, Koa pokes its eye from behind, and the reptile startles all over. It triggers a major boiling water eruption site, which melts the giant reptile. Meanwhile, the giant asteroid is about to impact Earth. Mills and Koa get to the ship and initiate the launch. They are able to escape Earth's atmosphere just before the impact. The asteroid causes major destruction on Earth's surface.